Not everybody's ready to pull a big, heavy 405-pound deadlift off the ground with a barbell. And not everybody's ready to squat with a pair of kettlebells racked up. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't squat and you shouldn't deadlift. It doesn't have to be heavy, but there's always a great place for everybody to start. And is this a squat? Is this a deadlift? It's kind of hard to say because it's kind of a combination between both of them, or of both of them. And it can be called the potato sack squat, or just a variation of a sumo deadlift. This medicine ball weighs 4 pounds. It's really light. But we're going to use it to kind of start exploring range of motion and finding our way down to the ground with a neutral spine and opening our hips. So deadlifting, squatting, 2 great ways to build some lower body strength so you can express more power in your golf swing, because even if you don't work on power, you're going to gain more of it just by getting stronger. And that can happen for a long time before you have to start adding in, specialized power training. So if you struggle with squatting or you don't know how to deadlift, this could be a great place to start working on the movement. And it's going to open our hips, good for golf, protect your lower back, and it's going to teach you how to get long through the spine and work with a neutral spine. So there's movement happening here, and people get scared of like, oh, deadlift, I'm going to get injured. No. Only if you're doing it improperly. We're not going to do that. We're going to do it right. So yellow ball. I'll give you 2 views. I'll start with facing you. So kind of a wide stance, right? And even if you can deadlift a ton of weight, this could be a great mobility exercise for your thoracic spine, for your hips, or just even to prep you for pulling heavy deadlifts if you're that cool. So if I'm standing over the ball is kind of positioned between my feet, but more like under my between my ankles, right underneath my body. And I'm going to start by sitting my butt back and pushing my hips apart. And I'm staying really tall, so it's a very squatty movement, even more squatty than like a sumo deadlift. And then from here, it's like, okay, so I'm all the way down. I've kept my shoulders down and back and my arms straight. I'm going to grab the ball, and I'm going to stand up. And I'm going to squeeze my glutes, lock out my quads, my knees, and get tall. And then from here, I'm going to go right back down and put the ball where I got it. So it's just going up and down in a straight line. I pick it up again, boom, lock out my sumo deadlift, potato sack squat, whatever you want to call it. I'll go back down again. And you could progress this. Most gyms have a whole bunch of these, so you can start with a 4-pound ball, and it's like, oh, this is easy, I can do this. And they get heavier. And let's say, sets of 8, if this is kind of new for you. All right, so you see where that is from the front. Shoulders are down, my knees go apart, my knees kind of track with my feet. Right on. And then from the side, we want to make sure that you're staying long through your spine. So not to be confused with, you're not trying to stay vertical. You can be bending from the hips, and we're obviously bending from the knees, but we just want to avoid curling up into a ball with your spine. So we want your spine to stay nice and long. You're going to go down, push your knees apart. Shoulders down. You can kind of see it really good from this angle, keeping your shoulders down along the spine. And then lock it out. So straight line at the top from my ears down to my ankles. So I'm not overextending at the top. I'm not kind of pitched forward. Down, touch, give it to gravity, pick it up again, lock it out. Easy, right? So find a nice big medicine ball. And if you can't get the ball to the ground without getting down here and going, ding, tucking your pelvis, find a block, a target, a step, something to create a range of motion that you can control, because you want to make good reps. So have a range of motion you can control, a weight that's appropriate for your ability, and do like 3 to 4 sets of 8 reps.